Welcome to PlayStation Corner. My name is Geeb, and today we're going to take a look at Star Trek Legends, available on PS4 and 5 December 25th. It's a new release from Cubic Games, who were kind enough to sponsor today's video. So let's jump in and discuss the story, gameplay, and generally what you can expect from Star Trek Legends. Before we begin today, I just wanted to let you guys know that all the opinions in today's overview are my own and not influenced by today's sponsors, Cubic. I would not want to steer you wrong, as I'm a huge fan of the Star Trek universe. Recently, I received Star Trek Next Generation full series on DVD as a gift. Yeah, that ancient technology. So I could forever watch one of my favorite television series without the crutch of a streaming service. I have a passion for the franchise, and I'm excited to let you guys know what you can expect from Star Trek Legends. We also have a few copies of today's game to give away, so stay tuned to the end of the video to learn how to enter. Now, let's get on with today's overview of Star Trek Legends. Before we get into gameplay, let me just run down a quick overview of today's game to give you an idea of what we're working with here. Star Trek Legends was developed by Tilted Point and published by Cubic Games, and it's making its console debut on Christmas Day. Available on PlayStation, I think it's a great opportunity for both new players and longtime fans to dive into the Star Trek universe in a completely new way. Originally released on Apple Arcade, Star Trek Legends combines tactical battles with story-driven exploration. It captures the spirit of Star Trek. Make strategic decisions, forge allies, and explore a galaxy that's both vast and dangerous. The game really does offer a unique experience for anyone who's into tactical combat or just wants to dive into a vastness of space. It's got over 70 iconic characters from the Star Trek universe, including legendary heroes like Captain Kirk, Spock, and more. The turn-based combat adds a nice strategic layer to the gameplay, requiring you to plan your moves and think ahead. It is a great balance of action and storytelling. So let's take a look at some gameplay. In Star Trek Legends, you'll be jumping into turn-based combat, and I have to say, it's a pretty solid system. It's not the most fast-paced action, but it works well for a strategic gameplay. You'll need to think about your moves and plan things out carefully, which I think adds a lot of depth to the experience. One feature I really enjoyed is the autoplay and speed-up mode. If you're someone who wants to just jump into the experience of the story without getting too bogged down into the battles, this option is a real lifesaver. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the narrative, and let the game handle the rest. It's a nice touch, especially for those who are more into the Star Trek universe than the strategy side of things. It's pretty straightforward though. It's turn-based combat. Each character has different abilities, attacks, specials, and much more. For example, ship doctors can heal your squad, players like Worf add brute force melee attacks, and much more. I really haven't scratched the surface with this game yet, and there are tons more of characters for me to unlock. It adds a ton of custom ability, allowing you to change up your gameplay based on which characters you've selected for your away team. The gameplay also is sure to be different and customizable for each player, making no two experiences the same. One cool feature I want to highlight is missions. Missions really add an interesting challenge to the gameplay. The goal is to collect items for leveling up characters, with higher ranked characters giving you a higher chance of success. When you send your character on one of these missions, they're unavailable for a period of time, which forces you to rethink your strategy for your next main mission. It also forces you to select other crew members to your away team, forcing you to mix and match in ways you may not have expected to do so otherwise. It's a cool way to shake things up and make you rely on other characters, adding a layer of depth and tactical sides of the game. There's an upgrade system. I'm not going to get too far into it because I didn't get too far into it, but basically as you do missions, as you find new pieces of upgrade gear throughout the world, you're able to go through and upgrade each character individually, which I can see might get a bit much as you unlock all 70 characters, but for now, while I have just a few characters, it's a pretty fun experience to go in there and unlock. It's very rewarding to go there and unlock certain things for characters. It really adds to the experience. I do think the upgrade system is cool, and of course that's necessary because as you move on, I'm sure things are gonna get more difficult, but just keep that in mind when you're making your purchase decisions. And I just want to do a quick touch on the tutorial as well. It's a bit under-informative, but honestly, I kind of like how it throws you right into the gameplay. It's a nice change of pace for games that over-explain everything and let you learn as you go. The story is filled with intrigue and drama. I honestly enjoyed this story throughout my couple hours of gameplay. I was legitimately excited to jump back into the game to gain more knowledge of the story. The game also includes a few references to the show, and while they're not the biggest nods, I do appreciate them. Whether it's a line of dialogue or familiar scene, those little touches make the world feel even more connected to the Star Trek universe that we know and love. One of my favorite little touches to Star Trek Legends is the classic "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor" line as Bones pops in as a playable character. It's such a small thing, but it really made me smile, and the game does a really good job of adding those little moments to the game and makes it feel authentic to Star Wars Trek universe fans. The cast in the game is absolutely massive, and that's easily one of my favorite parts of the game. They really didn't skimp out, including over 70 characters from across multiple Star Trek generations. Whether it's from the original series or newer shows, you'll find tons of familiar faces. It's really cool seeing all those characters interact with each other, and it really feels like they made an effort to capture the essence of the franchise. There's also a lot of choice on how you approach certain situations for the gameplay, and that's something I find really engaging. These moments can be big or small, but they have a real impact on the story. For example, smaller moments like whether you should break down a door with brute force, or use technology to hack into a lock. Or bigger morality moments. For example, when a ship's computer shows signs of being sentient, but it starts to attack you. What do? Do you destroy the computer AI, or do you try to repair it? The choices you make will literally splinter off the story into different directions, leading you to one path and looking back at the other. The choice adds an extra layer of depth to the story, making it feel like your decisions actually matter as you explore the galaxy. Let's talk about graphics. The graphics of Star Trek Legends are really solid overall. The game runs at 60 FPS, which gives it a smooth, fluid feel and looks great, especially for mobile to console port. The character models in particular are well done, and they stay true to the original designs, while still being a little cartoony, which I do appreciate. Seeing all those familiar faces is definitely a treat. All that said though, there is one little issue that I noticed. There's light pulsing and glitching effects that could be distracting at times. It's not a huge deal, but it does pull you out of the experience a little bit, especially when it happens during key moments. Minor, but it's there. Visually, you can tell it has some mobile roots, but naturally, the power of the PS5 gives it a resolution beyond that. I wish there was a bit more expansiveness in the visual department, but you do have to remember this is a budget title, not a AAA game, and it's not full price. And in fact, if you have a PS Plus subscription, this game is half off for you. But it is very easy to spot all these classic characters. They are timeless, and I love the universe personally, so it's great to see so many represented. Let's talk about sound design. Something I really appreciate in the game is the sound design. While it's not entirely true to the Star Trek universe, the sounds they use definitely feel like they belong and sound unique in ways you expect with Star Trek. There's a nice mix of effects and audio clues that help immerse you in the universe, even if it's not exactly what you might expect from the shows or movies. I do wish, however, the characters had more spoken word dialogue. It's mostly just reading text off the screen, while the characters say one-liners or just make some grunts or noises. Not a big deal, and it does work. However, I do feel the game offers more immersion if they were able to get some voice acting going on here. But overall, thumbs up for the sound design. There's something I wanted to bring up for you guys in this overview. While playing through the game, you do acquire an in-game currency that you can use to upgrade and unlock things throughout the game. I'm not entirely sure if this will also equate to microtransactions within the PS5 port. With my review copy being early, I wasn't able to access the PlayStation Store to check and see if there are microtransactions. Regardless of all that though, you do get in-game currency as you play, so there's nothing to worry about. As long as you're playing the game, you can acquire your in-game currency and use it to upgrade your things without having to spend a dime in case there are microtransactions. Star Trek Legends offers a solid mix of tactical combat and immersive storytelling, making it a great choice for fans of the franchise. The game offers a massive cast of over 70 iconic characters across multiple Star Trek generations, which is an absolute stupendous part of this game. And yes, I just broke out the word stupendous because I actually really enjoy that. That was actually a jaw-dropping moment for me when I saw the list of massive characters that you can add to your gameplay. While also, I didn't mention as well because I can't access the store at this time for this game, but there is going to be DLC, which I will actually be purchasing for my copy of the game because I will be playing more of this game outside of what was necessary for this review because I really enjoyed it. And the DLC just adds a few more characters to my knowledge. I don't know what else it adds, but the DLC is something I want to check out. I don't know when that's going to be available either. Again, I have no access to any of that. I just noticed it during my gameplay, and I will be checking out more characters and more DLC for more characters. I'm just really excited about it. It's a really massive deal for us Trekkie fans. The character models feel familiar, and the sound design does a good job of capturing that feel of Star Trek with some cool gameplay features like ship missions, meaningful choices, and intriguing story. Star Trek Legends is a fun experience that I really enjoyed playing. This is a game that I definitely was interested in, and I'm glad that I was able to check this out thanks to Cubic. Well, that's the video down. Will you be picking up Star Trek Legends? Let us know in the comments down below. Again, we here at PlayStationCorner like to thank our today's sponsor, Cubic Games, for giving us this copy of Star Trek Legends for review. If you'd like to win a copy of Star Trek Legends, we have a few to give away. Just drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below about why you love Star Trek, and you'll be entered. Winners will be chosen at a later date. For everyone else, please make sure to drop a like in this video on your way out, and subscribe for more lists, deals, and weekly content from PlayStation Corner. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.